She looks better than her sister. What grade did your classmate get in the exam? How much do you earn? How much do you lift? Is he better than me? Why do we compare ourselves to others? Social comparison might emerge when we try to evaluate our own opinions and abilities, but at the same time there's no real objective way of measuring or evaluating. Because of the fact that it is extremely difficult to find such an objective reality, one often ends up trying to compare oneself to others. Therewith, one creates a more subjective, let's say, social reality that can be used as a reference point for one's comparison. In fact, research has shown that it also increases with age, but it actually starts with the age of 7 to 8 years, so you could say when one starts going to school. Often people will say that it's a natural tendency to compare ourselves because everyone is doing it, from the point on when we are going to school until our death. Even if you want to change it, you can't help yourself, you automatically start doing it. So is it really a natural tendency, or is it rather something that we've learned, that we've got taught or got conditioned on? The moment you are born, you are as natural as one can possibly be, right? Untouched and not influenced by anyone or anything. If it is really that natural, why are we not born with the tendency to compare ourselves? Therefore, it is extremely important to look at the first years of our life and to see what is actually happening and what is changing. I've said that we indulge in this activity when we are trying to make sense of a current situation, right? But when you're young, you also try to make sense of things. And this the whole time. From morning till evening, you're trying to make sense of that complex world that you live in, because a baby simply knows nothing. Crawling through the apartment, learning new things, maybe ending up trying to eat one's own fingers. I mean, this is your job. Learning and trying out all those things, and still there is no need at all to compare yourself to others. Maybe you are not even able to do it in that age. So when, and even more important, why does the actual shift take place? Is it because your brain starts to develop and therewith your mind is able to do more things, more complex things? But even if your brain is not that well developed, still you are able to make sense of this world, right? There's no need to compare yourself to others. So where does it actually come from? Or does it rather come from your environment, from other people, society? As older as you get, as more you are integrated into society, isn't it? In the beginning, you are in your mother's womb, then you know your parents, and then the social environment gets bigger and bigger, more family members, kindergarten, your first friends, and then finally school. What if the main reason for the change are all the people that surround you? Of course, I don't have tons of studies who support this idea, but if you critically think about it by yourself, not influenced by other people, any facts, numbers or figures which also stem from other people, what would you say? Try to remember when was the first time that someone else gave you this feeling that you need to compare yourself to others. You don't know. I mean, you don't know the first 4 years of your life, right? In psychology, this is called infantile amnesia, but this is a different topic and I don't want to go into that now. Doesn't matter when it happened for the first time, but you didn't come up with this idea by yourself. No one told you, hey Till, compare yourself to others. But other people started influencing you, giving you subtle hints. Maybe your parents or maybe other people. What is with your friend John? What grade did he get? Was his picture more beautiful? Do you see where this is going? I don't want to say that you are only surrounded with people that are having bad intentions. Not at all. But people are not aware of it. Copying those behaviors that they were taught by their parents, and again their parents were conditioned by their family members. And all those things are given to the next generation, to us. And why? Because they have never realized it. They have never wasted one single thought on this issue. And this is the price that they need to pay, that you need to pay. Because after all, you are a part of society and you cannot defend yourself, at least not in that age. But let's come to the comparison itself. There are different types of comparisons: upward comparison, downward comparison, and of course lateral comparisons with people that are quite similar to oneself. To keep it short, if you compare yourself with someone that is in a higher or better position, it is called upward comparison. The opposite is downward comparison, and yeah, that's it. It's actually pretty simple. And on average, girls tend to compare themselves more often than boys. Most of the time, people compare themselves to others who are slightly better, to get better, to improve, to stay motivated and to set higher goals. And this happens mostly in situations of uncertainty. For instance, when you get into a new environment, let's say you are changing the job, it's a transition, it's something new. A more serious situation of uncertainty is when someone is facing a threat. For instance, an illness such as cancer. Research has shown that downward comparisons with people that were worse off helped ill women to cope with their breast cancer. As you can see, there are not only downsides of social comparisons. I mean, students can also get better by using upward comparisons. We could also examine more studies and go more into detail. If you're interested, you can do this on your own. I'm not here to talk about whether it is good or bad, whether you should indulge in social comparisons or not. I want to clarify what is actually happening during that process, but therefore we still need to spend some time on that topic, which I will do in the second part of this video. If you are still following me and want to find out more about the topic, I will see you in the second part.